Brought to you by Penguin.
The Nameless One by Paul Stewart and Chris Riddell. Read by Dominic Thorburn. Introduction. Far, far away, jutting out into the emptiness beyond, like the figurehead of a mighty stone ship, is the edge. A torrent of water pours endlessly over the lip of rock at its overhanging point, the Edgewater River. The river's source lies far inland, at a stone pool high above River Rise, one of the three great cities of the Edge, deep in the heart of the night woods. A mere trickle at first, the river grows broader and more powerful as it makes its way into the mighty deep woods. Dark and forbidding, the deep woods is a dangerous and inhospitable place. Once, its denizens believed that the deep woods went on forever. Now, in this, the third age of flight, none but the most primitive of tribes, cut off from civilization, believe this to be true. Yet there is no denying the vastness of the forest. It takes even the sleekest frax-powered skyship several weeks to travel from one end to the other. By the time the Edgewater reaches the great city of Hive, it has already become a mighty river, cascading down the falls between East and West Ridge. Anglers plunder its stocks of fish, farmers dam and divert its waters to irrigate their fields, water wheels tap its power. Past Great Glade it flows, the third and greatest city of the Edge, a bustling metropolis of stilt-house factories, parklands, teeming mercantile districts, lakeside mansions and magnificent schools and academies. Then, disappearing under the ground, the river passes beneath the twilight woods and into the mire. It is only at the end of this bogland, with its sinking sands and blowholes, that the Edgewater forms once more. Here, close to the end of its long journey, the Edgewater is at its most magnificent. It sweeps past the ancient ruins of Undertown, beneath the mysterious floating city of Sanctifrax, and on over the jutting rock. Just as the river flows through the Edge, so too does its history. It flows down the centuries, ever growing, ever changing, ever switching course, and nowhere is this more clearly to be seen than in Sanctifrax. The ancient city of lofty academics, built upon a vast floating rock that hovers above Undertown's ruins, is anchored to the ground by a great chain. More than half a millennium earlier, that chain was cut, and Sanctifrax floated away, along with half the scholars who had once bickered and quarrelled so vociferously over the finer points of the sky science they studied. No one thought it would ever be seen again. But then it returned, and since then its deserted streets and buildings have become a magnet for those who wish to flee the stranglehold exerted by the authorities of the three great cities over their citizens. Chief among these outcasts and dissidents are the so-called Descenders, non-conformist academics who climb down the mighty cliff face of the Edge to discover what lies below. For just as primitive goblins believed that the deep woods were endless, so in the past it was believed that anything or anyone falling from the Edge would fall forever. The Descenders, with Cade Quarter, perhaps the most famous Descender of all, have proved otherwise. Unfortunately, however, these brave explorers are now in danger of their lives from those who, like the powerful Quo Valentis, High Professor of Flight, believe that such talk is heresy. For that is the trouble. There are always those who try to obstruct advances, who prefer to preserve the ignorance of the past rather than embrace the enlightenment of the present. But time passes, technology moves on, advances are made, and no technological advance was ever more significant in the Edge than that which heralded the third age of flight, the harnessing of the power of Stormfrax. Stormfrax, solid lightning, the most wondrous substance ever to have existed. Its origins lie far out in open sky, beyond the Edge where violent lightning storms form. These storms are drawn to the twilight.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?